Yo, Farmer Dre back at it. I am out here in the warehouse today. It's raining, it's cold outside, and I'm out here grafting apple trees. Why do we have to graft, or what is grafting? So grafting is the process of taking two different pieces of wood, combining together, they'll heal over, and then you grow an entire tree out of that. And the reason why you want to graft, or why it started in the first place, is first of all, every single apple tree or apple variety in the world has its own unique genetics inside. So it has its own characteristics, it has its own unique flavor, all the above. And since apples are cross-pollinated, you can't just get a seed from inside of an apple and put it in the ground and it'll grow a tree. I mean, you can, and it will grow, a tree, but it will not be the exact variety that the parent is, or the tree that grew that apple. And just because of the natural process of cross-pollination, I like to compare like humans, right? You get the mom and the dad, they make the kid, and the kid has very similar characteristics, but it's not identical to the parents. And in the apple world, or in an orchard, the entire row, we want the entire row to be the exact same variety. Just when it comes, it's easier that way, easier to manage. It'll be really hard to manage an orchard if you have 15 different varieties on one row. Each variety needs different management, ripened at different time. So just because we can't plant or get an apple seed and plant it in the ground, the process of grafting comes along. One thing I want to mention as well is there's hundreds of rootstocks out there. The reason I had to go with Geneva 214 is just because I ordered them so late in the season that these are the only ones that they had left. They had no other type of rootstock, and these are actually regrades, so these are not even #1 wood. And the regrades are just, they're crooked, they're not perfect, kind of like this one right here, but I go ahead and graft it anyways. In a commercial setting, when you're doing thousands of trees a day, the straighter the rootstocks are, the better. But we like to plant a lot of the Geneva series rootstocks here on our farm because of our soil type, the heat, the temperature, and we could do an entire video or videos on selecting rootstocks for your site. I know the Geneva 214 right here, this is a little more vigorous than the Geneva 41, and these are all dwarfing rootstocks, and they all need to be on a trellis system. There's more vigorous rootstocks like the Geneva 969 or the M7 or the M111. Just those have more vigor and they're self-standing. But the stuff we're grafting today is a dwarfing rootstock. So yeah, it's not that complicated. So let's go ahead and get started. First things first, I always grab the rootstock here, and then I get this gun. And what I do here, I just cut it across the top there. Make sure that the cut is dead center of the wood there, and you go ahead and cut it. So what it does there, it cuts a little V inside the variety here, and we want to go ahead and throw that away because this is still a Geneva rootstock there. And of course you got to grab the bud. And one of the most important things about grafting is you want to make sure that the size of the rootstock matches up the size of the variety you want. So I go ahead and line them up here, and the tip of this is the what I want here. And one of the biggest things to keep in mind is you want at least 2 to 3 buds. So as you can see there, that's a bud there. You want at least 2 to 3 of those. And if there's not a bud, go ahead and chop off the end. There's no bud on the end of that. Go ahead and chop that out here. And I want 2 to 3 buds there on the scion. So this is the portion of this that's going to grow. And what we do here is you want to make sure that you graft it, or you cut it with this gun here on the opposite side. So this one has the female adapter or whatever, and then there's a V cuts inside of there. So what you want to do here is you just want to go ahead and push those in together, bind them up. And the most important thing about grafting is lining up that cambium layer. The cambium layer is a layer inside the bark here that flows the nutrients from the roots to the top of the tree. And that is what makes a graft successful or a graft fail. If you don't line up the cambium layer or the skins there of the tree like that, perfectly like that, this graft will not take. So as long as one portion of that graft is touching that cambium layer and is nice and smooth there, that is going to take. And as you guys can see here, this is very flimsy right now. If I just tap, that's going to fall off. So what we do here is there's grafting tape, and what pretty much is just like a saran wrap, really thin sheets of saran wrap. What I do here, and I've learned by doing this, is I go ahead and start on the rootstock there, make sure it's nice and tight. Then I get the variety here, Make sure you line them up perfect there. Make sure the barks are touching or the cambium layer is touching there. And all you do is go ahead and twist that on there like that to keep it nice and snug there. I am right-handed, so I like to twist it really hard and just squeeze that tape there all as hard as you can so it will not move, it will not leak over, or it will not fall. And you know, just because you're bumping it whenever you're planting them in the orchard, just for that scion to will not fall over there. So that's what you do. That's what you want there, a beautiful graft. All right, so over here we got the candles, and no, I'm not trying to be romantic. We just need the wax here. So I do here, one thing I've learned, I started here a couple days ago, and I wasn't just heating up the tips there, so I'm heating up the saran wrap there. So go ahead and it will not blow over. And then the most important part of this is the tip there is still open to the elements, open to the oxygen there, and we don't want any of the oxygen or any of the water levels inside the bark there to go out. So we just go ahead and dip the tip there, the tip of that graft there in wax, so we'll go ahead and keep the moisture inside there, and that's all we do. And then these are all done here. So as you guys see here, all these grafts here have the wax on the tip of them, so they can go ahead and hold that moisture. And the instant we put these in the ground, whenever they start pulling up nutrients, the water and the nutrients will be flowing up through the xylem and phloem there. And if you don't have that, it's gonna take a while for the nutrients to reach up here because all that water and everything is leaking out the top there. So you don't want to have any wounds inside these grafts, so they're very sensitive. And even though this process works, they're not all gonna take. So you're gonna have some grafts that fail, but it's just part of the process. But that's the most important thing, and these grafts here are ready to go in the ground. So in theory, all these ones will go inside, right in the field, transplant them out in the field. But one thing that I thought about, and then I talked to some other growers and other nurserymen, is they recommend it, since we're not doing that many, and the commercial orchard industry is starting to do this, is I'm going to go ahead and plant these inside the orchard, not inside the orchard, inside the greenhouse, put them in potting soil, put them with potting mix and potting soil in a 1-gallon pot. And then I'm gonna wait until they start budding out, and wait until about 4th of July. And around 4th of July, the graft should take, and if it does take, the actual variety here is about 3 foot tall. And then we're gonna take them out of the pots there and transplant them in the orchard, just because it's much easier to do that. And so one thing I forgot to mention here, and I don't know why I forgot or how, but whenever we do graft, this process of grafting here, you get, I told you guys to leave 2 to 3 buds on there. So whenever you do graft and that graft does take, what you want ideally is that bud there to go ahead and push. So if these buds here push, that means your graft was successful. And what you want to do after that, after the grafts did push and that bud start pushing and the graft did take, you want to allow these buds, or at least one of these buds, to grow. And then whenever this bud grows, it's going to go ahead and overlap this portion right here, because this portion has no buds on it. And this bud right here is going to become your entire tree. So this is the start of your entire tree here whenever whenever that bud does push. And that's why you do 2 to 3 of them, just because you never want to put one bud, just because what if that one bud is damaged from cold or damaged from other things, and you don't see it from the outside. And let's say all 3 of the buds take off, then we just come to here and pinch these off and just allow one bud to grow. If you would allow all 3 buds to grow, you're just gonna have a big bush, and then you're gonna have 3 different branches out here, and then you're gonna have a tree. The base of the tree is gonna have 3 branches. That's why you only want 1 bud with 1 thick trunk, and that's about it. Alrighty, also just like that, we got 250 grafts, and now we are going to go ahead and put them in the cooler. Maybe wait a week or so and then transplant them in the greenhouse. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys that process of transplanting these in the soil and waiting, and I'll take you guys along for the ride and keep you guys updated on how they turn out and what we got to do with them. But yeah, alrighty, all this will be it for today. If you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out FarmerDreSupply.com. That's where you guys are able to find all your gardening greenhouse needs. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Smash that like button if you guys enjoyed today's video.